What if I told you that the only reason that Naruto ever became Hokage was because of Nagato? Just like how the only way I'm going to become YouTube's biggest Naruto talker is if you like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. It's actually my official job title, talker. So what are we talking about here today? Nagato, you know, the guy who was controlling the 6 paths of pain, the dude with 2 Rinnegans, making the Leaf Village think that Naruto is a suitable Hokage. Kind of seems like a stretch, doesn't it? And here's the thing, it kind of is a stretch, but it's also a theory I created myself, so it's my baby, and if you hate it, I'll ban you. I'm kidding, you're more than welcome here. Look at me breaking the cycle of hate. So let's set the scene for what we're talking about here. Essentially, we need to fast forward to the pain arc of Naruto Shippuden. Nagato, whose motivations to save the world are essentially like so. Nagato believes that if everybody within the Naruto world feels pain, then they can empathize with each other and find common ground. The shared experience of loss will bring those who survive together to form unity. And in a sense, he's kind of correct. There's nothing more strongly binding than shared connection of experience. But you don't need to commit genocide to do it. That's where Nagato lost the plot a little bit. But regardless of whether or not he was correct in his actions took him to Konoha, where he was, 1, trying to spread pain by wiping out a large majority of Konoha's population, and 2, collect Naruto for the Akatsuki's greater plans of getting all of the tailed beasts together. And while we're talking about it, okay, Madara's plan was infinite Tsukiyomi. Everyone in the Akatsuki knew that. How did Nagato's plan of wanting to spread pain to everyone so they can find a unified connection match up with infinite Tsukiyomi in the slightest? Like, there's nothing painful about the way that they perceived infinite Tsukiyomi. It was actually basically a heaven. In fact, all he was doing by killing people was robbing them of that infinite Tsukiyomi plane where they would have the connection. I realized the weirdest shit in the middle of these videos. Regardless, Nagato is now in the middle of literally destroying the entirety of Konoha. You remember the scene? This world shall know pain. Almighty push. Ow, that really hurt my throat. And boom, half of Konoha, actually probably more than that, is dead in an instant. Sakura then pulls off the best summoning jutsu in the entirety of Naruto and summons the main character. Naruto and Yahiko's reincarnated body essentially then brawl it out in what is either my favorite animated fight in all of Naruto or my least favorite animated fight in all of Naruto. It's a toss-up some days. Like, it doesn't look good, but sometimes I'm watching it and I was like, I kind of like that it doesn't look good. Naruto then wins the fight and proceeds to go look for the actual Nagato, having only defeated the 6 paths of pain. And once he finds Nagato, he uses Talk no Jutsu on him, his most powerful jutsu, where he essentially breaks down to Nagato that the perpetuation of a cycle of hate is exactly that. It only causes more hate and pain for other people. Naruto displays this point by forgiving Nagato for all he had done and thus breaking the cycle of hate. This was incredibly contrary to what Nagato was trying to accomplish. Nagato figured by saturating the market with hate that love would grow out of it. But Naruto simply said to meet hate with love is the best way to break the cycle. And just like that, Nagato realizes the error of his ways and realizes that Naruto is just like him. They both had terrible childhoods where they were shunned from their communities. But instead of looking for ways to enrich the community with hate like Nagato did, Naruto looked for ways to reach out to people, to make friendships. And it was at this moment that Nagato realized he took the wrong path. But just because he backed the wrong horse didn't mean it was too late to change sides for Nagato. In fact, this was Nagato's perfect opportunity to help Naruto, the person who he wishes he could have been on their journey. For a little bit of context onto how he's going to help him here, at this moment, half of Konoha, if not more, is dead, and their souls have been taken by the King of Hell. Nagato is holding on to them, which means that Nagato has access to the souls and therefore the minds of the majority of the population of Konoha. And we already covered every ability of the Rinnegan. If you want to see a really detailed video about it, you can see it right about here. But to surmise very briefly what the Rinnegan can accomplish, it can accomplish Genjutsu so powerful that the person you project it onto doesn't know that they're under it. It accomplishes this by not subduing the mind of the person who the Genjutsu is cast upon. And if you don't think that this kind of Genjutsu exists outside of Kotsumatsukame, unfortunately you're wrong. Look at what Obito did to Yagura, the third Mizukage. Obito, as an act of revenge against the village hidden in the mist for what they did to Rin, well, I guess it was what Kakashi did to Rin, but what they forced Kakashi to do to Rin, put Yagura, the third Mizukage, under a Genjutsu that trumped up his bloodlust. Yagura was already a violent person, but Obito made it so he desired for his comrades to fight each other to the death to find the strongest amongst them. This created the Blood Mist Village. And it wasn't until Ao, the owner of a Byakugan that isn't his, saw Yagura and saw that his chakra network was disrupted that he realized that he was under Genjutsu. He then broke Yagura out of this Genjutsu. So the precedent for being able to put people under Genjutsu without the use of Kotsumatsukame and not have their brains be subdued is absolutely there. So Nagato has now realized that his entire life's mission was incorrect, but he has a way to help someone who he believes has the right path, and all he has to do is cast Genjutsu on the entirety of the souls that he has living within the King of Hell before he casts Rinne Rebirth. And all that Genjutsu has to say is, you will support Naruto. Think about it. When all of these people wake up from their death, when Rinne Rebirth sends their souls back to their bodies, what is the first thing that they do? They gather around Naruto, they throw him in the air, they celebrate his victory. How did they know he won? Shirai Tensei, also known as Almighty Push, kills almost the entire village long before Naruto has even come close to defeating Nagato. In fact, the only people that really saw Naruto win that fight were Hinata, Sakura, and Tsunade. Almost everyone else was dead. So how would they know the enemy was defeated, or who defeated them for that matter, unless Nagato told them? And what makes this point even more compelling, you can say,
well, he just saved the village. Of course they're gonna celebrate him.
He's been saving the village his entire life. He single-handedly stopped the Konoha Crush by defeating a fully transformed Gaara in one-tail perfect Jinchuriki Shukaku mode. I mean, the boy summoned the leader of the Toad clan and then changed it into Kurama to beat a full-ass tailed beast. The village didn't blink. Why would they turn cheek on this one in order to celebrate Naruto, other than the fact that they were under a Genjutsu by Nagato, who had access to their souls to make them like Naruto? But who knows, maybe all their dead souls just got to sit up above and get an aerial view of the fight. But if this theory even makes a little bit of sense to you, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell, because I have tons of other theories that I'd love to share with you. I'm not saying that the villagers shouldn't celebrate Naruto, but like, the reason their village got destroyed is because he was there.